Hey y'all, it's Attorney Gerald Griggs, President of the Georgia State Conference, here for our June update on the Georgia State Conference and the things that we've been doing. And when I tell you we've had a banner month for the Georgia State Conference, that's an understatement. From all of the work that we've been doing with all of the units all over the state to currently standing up our first memorandum of understanding with United Healthcare Systems of Georgia to provide healthcare throughout the state of Georgia. We've been doing a lot in the Georgia State Conference, but we are just getting started. As you know, this month we are going to National Convention in Las Vegas, Nevada, which starts July the 11th through the 18th. I hope that you have registered and you have gotten your hotel rooms and your flights or your bus tickets to go to the National Convention, because when I say it's going to be exciting in Las Vegas, Nevada, that's an understatement. But back to what we've done here with the Georgia State Conference. Again, we stood up our new healthcare initiative with the Health Committee in a memorandum of understanding with the United Healthcare Systems of Georgia. That was awesome. We rolled out our first mobile unit, and we're going to be standing up our very first clinic. We're bringing them all over the state of Georgia to make sure there's healthcare throughout the state. We also were invited to the Alabama State Conference's Shelby Summit, which was in Shelby County, Alabama. We talked about voting rights. We talked about the Shelby County versus Holden decision and how we've been pushing back for the last 10 years, which ultimately culminated in the landmark Supreme Court case that added another super majority black district in the state of Alabama. And just yesterday, we were apprised of the big win in federal court by the State Conference of Mississippi to add another supermajority district, black district in the state of Mississippi. So a lot of litigation has been going on both in Mississippi and Alabama. Of course, we had the win in Georgia, and so we are making sure we understand that when we fight in court, we win. We also celebrated Juneteenth throughout the state of Georgia, with numerous units having Juneteenth celebrations to bring in freedom for people of African descent in Georgia and people that were descendants of African chattel slavery here in Georgia. So that was awesome. The Juneteenth celebration in Sandy Springs, One Fulton, was a raging success with the King of the South, T.I., and Shula King as the headliners, and so many groups were there to enjoy the Juneteenth celebration. There were Juneteenth celebrations all over the state of Georgia, and it was truly phenomenal to be a part of that. We also had a special guest, the ambassador from Australia, who met with the state conference to talk about strengthening that partnership both internationally and domestically with indigenous people all over the globe. So it was awesome to meet with the special ambassador from Australia. We will continue to build that partnership, continue to grow that partnership, and hopefully meet with other nations to continue to talk about investment of economic infrastructure in the state of Georgia for people of color, particularly African Americans. And so it was a phenomenal month for the Georgia State Conference. We have done so many things to move the state conference forward. We also had the Nigel Cullins protest after the release of the video by the city of Atlanta, and we continue to advocate on behalf of that family and many other families around the issue of police violence and police brutality. We were able to meet with Senator Warnock and Senator Ossoff in our push for Senate hearings on the issues of police accountability in the state of Georgia. Last but certainly not least, we were invited to Revolt to have a conversation on the black vote and the impact of the black vote in the presidential election. As you know, we are kicking off our electoral campaign to make sure the vote gets out in the state of Georgia, because black voters still matter. And so we were there at Revolt to talk about the black vote, to make sure it's centered in the conversations around the presidential election, federal elections, and the state elections throughout the state of Georgia. So we're excited about that, and we'll continue to update you. The most important announcement that we have for the Georgia State Conference, we have now secured a civic engagement director, has been hired by National, and now we'll be meeting with the units to talk about our voter mobilization plan throughout all 159 counties. We are so excited to have Michaela Brockington on board. She is going to go out to each unit, make sure our voter mobilization plan is touching the ground, make sure there's resources coming down to the ground, and making sure we get this vote out ahead of the November election. So I'm excited about Michaela. She is a phenomenal organizer and will do great work in the Georgia State Conference as we roll out the vote. So it's important that if you're not connected with the Georgia State Conference, if you're not connected with the unit, that you get connected as we are moving forward. Hopeful to see you in Las Vegas. We're fired up and moving into July. June was a powerful month. I'm super excited about where we're going in the Georgia State Conference. Y'all stay tuned. I'm Attorney Gerald Griggs, President of the Georgia State Conference of the NAACP. Looking forward to seeing you at a meeting and looking forward to seeing you at National Convention. See you at the next meeting.